Good morning. So I am on day 24 of my menstrual cycle, and I have in my hand the most beautiful smelling and delicious block of chocolate, which was prescribed to me by my personal chocolatier, Bronte. I'm going to have a bite of it right now and describe. Yeah, you see, this is actually on her website. She says this is chocolate with soul. Now, I would say this is with soul and with love and with like pure medicine. It's really amazing. This particular one is one of her most recent creations. She gave it to me last night, and she was saying how she spent 4 days making it and made it with such intention and love, and I feel like I can really taste it. It has coconut in it and pink salt, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I've done you all the great favor of inviting Bronte here to talk to me so that you can receive your very own chocolate prescription and learn about just the benefits and wonders of really, really good chocolate from someone who is a total expert. So hi, Bronte. Thank you so much for this amazing piece. I told you I was going to eat it while we're talking, make everyone salivate. It's really, really gorgeous. So do you want to just say what you what went into this, so people know a little bit about it?
Sure. So hi, I'm so happy to be with you this morning. It's just so lovely to chat to you. And I just had the most wonderful evening with you last night in our Red School Circle. So yeah, this is my newest flavour. So I'm a chocolatier. I've been a chocolatier for about 20 months now, so nearly 2 years. And this one's taken me a long time. So there's a lot of labour of love gone into this particular flavour, and yeah, it's called pink salt and coconut milk, and I just love it. I really love it. I think it's going to be my new favourite. It's got a 60% Peruvian cacao mixed with beautiful organic coconut milk, so pure, and just a hint of pink Himalayan rock salt, which is, in my opinion, is one of the best salts we can put into our body. It's better than just simple sea salt. So it has a lot of kind of health benefits. And I think if you can just squeeze it into your diet whenever you can, I think you'll benefit from that. So yeah, and my chocolate is vegan and raw, and it's sweetened with a carob suspension, so there's no refined white sugar in it at all, and that's basically it. It doesn't have anything else. It doesn't have any emulsifiers or preservatives or additives or anything like that. So yeah, it's purest chocolate I think you can get, really.
Yeah, it's absolutely, the taste is magnificent. That is definitely my favorite, that one. It's so gorgeous. It's really gorgeous. I can't believe it's only been 20 months. That's incredible what you have created in such a really short amount of time. It would be so nice, Bronte, if you tell people a little bit about how you came to be making this delicious chocolate and what life was like before. And actually, because the creativity workshop that you came to at Red School was a real catalyst in you making the leap into becoming an official chocolatier. So do you want to just talk about that?
Yeah, sure, of course. So I actually attended the Red School Creativity Workshop in London almost 2 years ago to the day, actually. So you can really see the gap of the 4 months literally as quite a it was definitely the catalyst for me. So for me, I was a corporate lawyer, and I also lectured in law, and I'd been training, qualifying, and then practicing law, and then teaching law since around 2003. And I had wound up after practicing law in a firm in quite a top tier firm. It's quite a good firm. I wound up being an international kind of an international lawyer. It's kind of a bit complicated, but it involved a lot of travel, and I was kind of managing a group of other lawyers. And they were amazing. I mean, they were really great. I was working with a lot of European lawyers who, I still miss a lot of those people. They're just amazing, amazing people. But ultimately, the side of legal practice for me just didn't work. It didn't work for my personality at all, and I felt really constrained and confined, and I just felt so small and so insignificant, and I just didn't really want to spend the rest of my life doing that. And I was so lucky that you obviously moved to my hometown, and we kind of connected through a mutual friend. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to do this workshop. I'm going to find out, what is going on with me. And it just totally changed my life. I mean, your workshops are dangerous. Seriously. Like, if you want to change your life, go to Red School workshops, because there's no turning back. It is a one-way street. Once you hear this stuff, it gets into your brain, and you just realize, how much you've been trapped in this never-ending cycle of debt and money and patriarchy, actually, as well. And all the things about you that are feminine have just been ridiculed and denied. And it was just a huge, huge awakening and a wake-up call for me. And it just hit me like a tsunami that, actually, I need to do this, and I need to be true to myself.
So could you say a little bit about, because I love what you know about chocolate, and I love the way you love chocolate. It's so beautiful. And it would be really nice to hear how, specifically for women, like how chocolate can benefit us, and why it would be good for us to eat chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do love chocolate, and it's not just kind of a marketing gimmick or anything. I make all my own chocolate, and I make it for my children with love and care and attention, and I try and put that in exact same kind of feeling into the chocolate I make pretty much every day. And yeah, it's an interesting substance, actually. I mean, just studying the history of it over the last 20 months or so, it's been an amazing revelation about what it is. It's such a complicated substance as well. It's not what we think of it as Western, kind of what's happened in the West with chocolate. Kind of maybe it's akin to what's happened to yoga in the West, really. When you speak to somebody who genuinely understands yoga from a historic point of view, a very ancient point of view, is very different to the Western form. It's the same with chocolate, actually. It's an ancient substance, and there's some really good evidence that shows that actually it was a matriarchal plant, it was a matriarchal tree, and that the grandmothers would have been so highly worshipped and so well received in the society at the time, that they would have run the kind of plantations there, and they would have known everything about all of the plants, but particularly the cacao tree. And the cacao tree is effectively one of nature's best pharmacies. So it contains a whole variety of nutrients, minerals that women particularly need, and that is why there is this evidence that it would have been run by women for women. And of course, we know that cacao beans themselves were used as money, for example, showing how valuable that job was to make sure those trees kept growing. And so if you take it right back to that, what you're looking at a South American plant, which contains some of the highest concentrations of things like magnesium, manganese, iron, copper in the world, essentially, in a really pure form, encased in this beautiful pod, then encased in a beautiful bean inside the pod, so well protected from its environment, so well protected from pesticides and herbicides and things like that, and pollution. And you take that out and you kind of have this amazingly hard, crumbly substance, which is cacao. And that contains cacao and cacao butter, which is the oily substance. And those two things together, they're just amazing. I mean, if you can get your hands on some really pure organic cacao nibs, particularly from Peru or Ecuador, and just eat them whenever you can. As a woman, that's going to provide you with so many nutrients. And, you know, it's effectively like going to the pharmacy and getting one of these kind of complete women vitamin packages that you can get. You know, you just need to get your cacao, and then it's all there for you. And if I can talk, if I've got time, if I can talk for a moment about the cycle itself. Personally, I actually think you need different types of chocolate through the cycle. And I'll just take a step back from it. I think the other thing to say about Western society is, again, going back to that permission giving issue, is as women, we are not permitted to eat chocolate. It is a sin. It is seen as wrong. It is ridiculed. It's judged, even by other women. You know, just to sit there and scoff a whole bar of chocolate, it's just, you know, you can't get away with that without some form of judgment. And for me, you know, I'm kind of like on a single-handed mission to change that perception, really, particularly for women, because I just think we should have literally uncontrolled access to chocolate most days, in fact. And I think I would temper that with saying, you know, obviously the vast majority of westernized chocolate is actually quite bad for us, and that is the problem. That's where those views come from, is you eat a bar of chocolate which is 55% sugar, 20% milk powder, and, you know, if you're lucky, 18% cacao. That's not going to give you what you need. Absolutely not. Not in terms of a pharmaceutical kind of prescription, as you call it, Shani. So, you know, I think we should have absolutely unrestricted access to really good chocolate, and you should have it in your cupboard, and you should just take it like a medicine, basically. So just going back to the cycle, is I genuinely believe, you know, different types of chocolate will give you a real boost at certain parts of the cycle. So obviously a lot of women do struggle with autumn, and we know that as to be a fact, and we know that you're trying to change that and get people to embrace their autumnal power. And, you know, I work on that every month, but it's hard for me, really, really hard. I get really irritable. I get really short-tempered. I cannot abide mess in autumn. It's just gets into my skull, and that kind of sends me into a craze. So I kind of recognize that for me, autumn's really bad. And at that point, I need about an 85 to 95% bar. And in fact, if I can, I just eat cacao nibs every day for breakfast for like those 5 days, because it's going to boost your magnesium levels. It's going to boost your iron levels, which we know, if we boost our iron levels before we start the bleed, we know that we have the tools that we need to bleed, because we are losing blood, and we are losing, and therefore, of course, losing iron. And I've struggled for years with anemia. And I know that if I can do everything I can to boost my iron levels in the 6 days before I bleed, I just have the most amazing winter. So I eat kind of 85 to 95% dark chocolate every day. I eat about 20 to 30 grams every day for those 6 days. And then the rest of the month, you know, I just enjoy it. So in winter, I will give myself permission. And in winter, I quite often eat kind of almost, I'll eat something like, for example, Waitrose do a lovely bar, which is about 45%, because I don't make anything less at the moment than 85. So when I'm looking for something a bit more kind of treat-like, I have to go to other people. So Waitrose make an amazing bar at the moment, and under their One brand, which I love, which is, they make a 45 right up to a 90 bar. And, excuse me, I eat that in winter. I just treat myself. I think, no, I'm bleeding, and I'm going through this renew, and I deserve to reward myself. And then, of course, going through the rest of the month, I'll go back to 60 to 85% chocolate. And do you know what? I lose weight. I've lost weight. Sorry, I don't lose weight all the time, but I've lost weight over the last 2 years. My skin feels great, and my hair feels great. I hardly ever get ill, no viruses, nothing. And I just think that is so different to where I was 2 years ago. So different. I mean, I was ill all the time, constant tonsillitis, constant fluey colds. My hair was, dry and ratty, and my skin was covered in pimples and things. So yeah, I know I'm a survey of one, but I kind of just think, do you know what? Like, just give it a try, and I think it's really good for you. Yeah. So
it's so interesting. I just love hearing about the history of chocolate, and then how how to take it in a way that really supports our cycle and our well-being on all levels. Because my experience with chocolate and with your chocolate is I totally get that whole mineral thing that's happening, that I'm like washing my body through with all these really good minerals. But I also feel so loved when I eat your chocolate. I really do. I feel this warm, fuzzy feeling come over me, and it's just gorgeous. So on all levels, it feels like a really kind thing to be doing for myself and my body. And so I'm really grateful that you made this shift and into creating Bronte and Co. and making your chocolates available soon worldwide, right? You're going to be available worldwide. That is so exciting. So for people who want to find out about Bronte's chocolate and order them, if they go to your website, Bronte, all the links are there. You've got some good blogs on there as well, right? BronteandCo.com.
Yeah. So this is I have a few little.
Oh yes.
Here. So this is what you would see. So you can go to BronteandCo.com, and we've got a little shopping cart on there. I'd love to have women enjoy chocolate, whether it's mine or anyone's, really, just without guilt, really. I think we've got enough guilt in our lives, so yeah.
It's so beautiful. Thank you so much, Bronte.
Thanks, Shani. It was lovely to chat with you.